stream. Couple of. I gotta get ready for.
アルカナブラスト。 お手伝いせえな。こちらをこちらをこちらを行きますよ。せえな。こちらをこちらをやらせるわけ。せえな。凍らせます凍らせこちらをお手伝
What's up, Kamatachi Khan? How you doing? What's going on with you? Not sure if you can hear me. Should be able to hear me. Pretty sure my mic is on. What's up, right? How you doing? I'm okay. Just work, man. Not really much else. Just work. Just trying to get through my week. Well, I'm waiting for opponents, dude. But, you know, it's hard to find people to play this game. The only people that play this game are all the Evo people. And their connections with me are usually just absolutely terrible. And it's mostly East Coast people, so I don't play any of them. West Coast or bust for me. They're just trying to sleep. I'm okay, just like I said, just trying to find matches for this game. But it's pretty hard. Like most of the time I can't find anybody to play with. Like my favorite game and I can't find anybody to play with like 95% of the time. I'm still number 3 on the server for Biz Club, right? That's how you know it does. If you can make top 10, you know, fairly easily, that means not many people play your game. Yeah, about 1,000 people. I mean, so that makes me top 1%, roughly. There's also a lot of people that don't even play online, so you can't really count those people either. Yeah, it just happens. It's just one of those things of you just can't find people to play with on certain games. There's nothing really you can do, unfortunately. It's one of those things of people play what's mainstream, you know. You can't really turn people away from that. It's pretty impossible. People are gonna play what's mainstream. Usually, yes. But the problem is Japan likes to play more in the arcades, not really in console. Especially on PC. Japanese people do not play on PC. What's an arcade? Alright, man. Oh yeah, I love Guilty Gear's soundtrack, man. Yeah, Guilty Gear's got an amazing soundtrack. One of the best fighting game soundtracks. Yeah, I love J-Rock. Rock metal. I'm a big fan of rock and metal. Oh yeah, I mean, they're based off of pre-existing characters. It's not like they're custom-made characters. I think the game has a lot of substance, so don't think this game is like super shallow. Like, a lot of people think like this game has no depth. It has a lot of depth. But I expect it from Examu. Like, Examu, like, their games are usually, they're fun to play and they're pretty to look at. Story-wise, this game is like trash. It's based off another franchise. And mode-wise, this game's pretty bare bones. But the game's magic comes from the fighting. The game is a lot of fun to play. But a lot of people disagree with me. like I said, it's a good game. Just a lot of people don't like it. It's one of those things. It's hard to convince people it's a good game. There's a lot of people that just don't like these type of games. Like Examu, I always tell people Examu games aren't very popular. I think Examu's a really good developer. Like, they have a talented staff, especially with the visuals. Like they have the anime style knocked down, packed. Like the sprite work is really, really pretty. And the gameplay, I think, is really good. Like, it has really responsive gameplay. You know, it feels really... You feel in control. When you play this game, you feel like you have a lot of control. It's fast. But a lot of other games, I feel like they're not as responsive. Like Guilty Gear is very responsive, for example. You know, that game has a lot of depth, a lot of options. It's really fast and frantic. I like games like that for fighting games, and I like aerial-based games. I don't like games where you're just staying on the ground all day. It gets kind of boring because then it makes it where you can't do as much. The air adds a lot of depth because you can do mix-ups, different kind of setups, like guessing games, like that kind of shit, like crossovers and stuff, calling out assists to throw people off. Like they lacked impact, you think? Like the impact isn't very good? I mean, they don't have impact Guilty Gear has a lot more emphasis on impact. I mean, I know people like probably the most impactful sprite work is, most people agree, is Third Strike. Third Strike has the most impact, like the way moves hit, compared to most other games. Most games, I don't think they get the impact right. It's nice having a hit connect and it feels really like, oh crap, like you can feel it, To me, like I said, it feels good to me, but that's me. I play anime fighters. I mean, obviously Guilty Gear is better, but I really doubt that's the reason why people don't like it, though. I really doubt that one little reason is the reason why people don't play this game. I think the main reason is, one, it's too... like I said, I tell people this all the time. It's the look of the game. The looks are, because it's a waifu game. The majority of the characters are waifus. I think that's really jarring to a lot of people. So they're like, another waifu game. probably really, really boring. You know, like it's a common misconception. People think that waifu anime games are really shallow. And to be honest, in Japan, it's the waifu games that are usually the more in depth. Not really the mainstream ones. The waifu games tend to be a lot more different. They tend to be a little bit zanier. Like you know, Toho bullshit. Not like a traditional game where it's, you know, a lot slower paced, a lot more restrictive. You know, more just what you expect, and that's probably why people like those games, because it's traditional. And me is like, I'll be honest, I'm sick of traditional fighters. Traditional fighters are boring to me. Like, I just don't find them interesting. Like, it's amazing. Like, I could play like any ground-based normal fighter, and I just get bored so fast. Like, within a matter of like 15 minutes, I'm like, next game. Like, I'm literally like that with almost every ground-based fighter. Because I dissect it so fast, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I already know like what to do, and a lot of times it just becomes stupid high execution, where it's like, okay, I don't want to practice one-frame combos in like Mortal Kombat or whatnot. To me, it's like, I want to be more creative. I don't want to have to do the same thing that everybody else does. Like, that's one thing that kind of turns me off about a lot of fighters, since they're mostly simple and very uniform. Like, you end up lacking creative expression. So I feel that I can't do what I want to do because the game doesn't let me. So it's like, oh yeah, you can only do this. Sorry, that's all you can do, and that just kills it for me. Like that kills my fun factor, like down the toilet. I can't do anything, or I'm just like, yep, you got to play like this and only like this. This is the only way it works. Tekken, I like. Tekken's the only like ground-based fighter I like. That's the only one I like. Like, that game actually has a surprising amount of variety. So that for a ground-based game, it's definitely probably one of the best ground-based games, because it definitely isn't like your normal ground-based game. It's really zany. Like, Tekken's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, will it ever replace an anime fighter? Oh god, no. If I had a choice between anime fighter and Tekken, I'm gonna choose an anime fighter. Just because my creative expression is higher in anime fighters. Anime fighters, I always seem to go hand in hand in that. Where it's just like, I feel like if you think you can do something, you can do it. Like, that's how like silly anime fighters are. Like, you think of the most bizarre thing and it'll work. You know, so I'm like, okay, what if I do this? What if I do that? What if I do this? And it's just all these what ifs start popping in my head. And they tend to be, most of the time, true. Like, sometimes, yeah, there's some that you can't do. But most of the time, yeah, so that makes me fulfill my creative expression. I don't have to play like everybody else. I can play how I want to play. That's always a good thing, you know, because you see variety. Because if everybody just does the same thing, but the problem is a lot of people like doing that because they monkey see, monkey do mentality. That to me, like, makes the game look bad, because when you just see everybody doing the same thing, picking the exact same characters, picking the exact same setups, doing the exact same combos, it gets boring, because then it's like, oh, that's all the game has to offer. And then people look at that and that's what they see. You know, they're like, oh, well, the game has no depth. I was like, yeah, when you have people play it like that, sure, it looks like that. a lot of ground-based fighters, I think, because they're so restrictive. I don't think so. I don't like Street Fighter, so you're asking the wrong guy. I stopped liking Street Fighter since Third Strike. I got sick of Street Fighter. To me, I felt like I've evolved past Street Fighter. Street Fighter is too simple for me. I get bored just playing it because it's just overly simple. Like I like option select. You know, I like where I have a lot of options. And Street Fighter just doesn't have options. It's very simple, it's very bare bones, you know, it's just like a rock paper scissors game, or it's more like a rock paper game. It's very, very, very simple. And I don't like that. To me, it's like, okay, I'm not going to do well in this game because I can't, you know, go crazy because I can't do what I want. I'm too restricted by the system, so I have to... Basically, my interest just goes to zero, so I don't even care if you beat me because I can't do what I want to do. I can't be expressive. The minute you shut down my creative expression, the minute I stop playing. That's a big turnoff for me. And sadly, the way games are going now, I mean, fighting games are going now, they're even getting more simple, which is a really big turnoff, especially with my anime games. Like, anime fighters are getting ridiculously simple. It's like, now you're just, to me, it's like you're insulting the genre. Because anime fighters were never built on super simplicity. It's like, you know, cross-tag battles, like, ridiculously simple, like, to the point of potato. And then you got DBZ, which I think started the whole potato thing. Like, everybody wants to be DBZ now, so let's all copy DBZ and dumb it down even more, because that's what majority wants. You know, it's funny. You think I would like JoJo? I don't. I don't like the JoJo fighting games. Like, JoJo was cool back in the day, like for like Third Strike era. I didn't mind that. But as far as like the new JoJo games, don't care. I don't like arena fighters. You know, I've always had this stigma about arena fighters. Like, a lot of arena fighter-based games I think are really boring. Because a lot of times it's just, yeah, I mean, the movement options are cool, like the shit you can do. Like, as far as moving's cool, but as far as, like, I don't know, like attack options, it seems very limited. Because a lot of times it's just A, that's your combo. Like, that's literally what you do, is you just A, you spam one button. And that gets boring. I hate auto combos. I really do. Like, I know this game has auto combos, like, to a degree. But I like it when they make an auto combo that can deviate. Like Persona. I think Persona is one of the few games that did auto combos right. Where you can actually, you don't have to fulfill the auto combo, you can actually, it becomes a different pressure string or a different setup string. You can stop it mid-move and do something else to make it have versatility. So I'm like, okay, it's actually useful. Whereas when you just make everything auto string combos, it's just, ugh. It really hides a lot of the depth. Well, yeah, no, I know that. I'm just... But what I'm talking about, like for example, this is her auto combo. That's her auto. So you just hit A and you do this. Easy combo. But you don't have to do that. You can do that. Or jump cancel. You know, like... I can do something else. I can do an overhead. You know, I can do a fake. Like, that's good use of an auto combo. Like, where you can actually deviate from it. So there's utility behind the move. Where most games, it's just you have to commit to the A. Like Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle basically is just A into assist to A. Like that's basically what you do in that game. That is combo depth in that game. Or it's abuse a move that abuse a what you call it you basically do the same move in repetition. Like, for example, Cross Tab Battle is infamous for sweep into EX move. Sweep into EX move 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times because they can't tech, and you do a retarded amount of damage. And I'm like, okay, that's not very in-depth, so when you just keep repeating the same move over and over and over and over and over and over again. It was cool at the time. It's one of those things of I think like I said before, I've evolved. So my tastes are different than they were in 1990. You have to understand that. You really got to understand them. It's just not the same for me anymore. I can't go back to Street Fighter 2. I can't go back to Virtua Fighter. I can't go back to even DOA. Like, I feel that I've evolved past those games. Like, where it's just, okay, I've had enough of them. I played them a lot when I was younger. They were cool at the time, but now I feel like they've stayed stagnant in the past. Like, they haven't tried to be anything different. So it's like, okay, I want something different. I want something next level. I mean, I would like it if Anime Fighters got replaced by something else even more evolved. Like, where it's like, oh shit, this is the next level. Then I'd be like, okay, I want to play these type of games. But that's how I feel. Like, a lot of older games, I just can't play them anymore. Just because I don't find them interesting. Because my mind is like, wants to do more, and I can't do more because the system doesn't allow me to do more. Perfect example is Samurai Showdown. That game is too old for me. Like, it's too basic. It's one of those games of one hit, commitment, you know, you do a ridiculous amount of damage. There's literally no combos except like one into special move or one into super. It's so basic. And I'm like, I know fundamentals, you know, I understand what fundamentals are. I wasn't born yesterday, you know, I understand how fundamentals work. And I want to go beyond fundamentals. I want to go, you know, it's like having food. You know, yeah, I could eat bacon and eggs, you know, all the time, but you get tired of it after a while. I'm like, I don't want bacon and eggs. I want a steak or a new type of pizza or something like that. You know, you want something a little bit more. And that's how I feel with older fighting games. They're bland to me. So that's why I get bored of them so quick. Oh yeah, you're not the only person that said that. A lot of people enjoy hearing me talk. They say I make a lot of valid points. Yeah, I should do that. I should like totally make videos about why I think certain games suck or why I think certain games are good, why I think certain movies are terrible, you know, etc., etc. But my passion's video game. I'm very passionate. I mean, in even games I love, I find flaws in. You know, it's just one of those things that I will find flaws in everything, even games that I really like, because that's I think my job as being in love with video games. I need to be a critic because it's like, hey, I love these things. I want them to be good because I care. You know, I support the games I love. You know, that's why you see me play this game, because I love it so much. I don't play it because I'm trying to like get money or be artificial. You know, I'm here because I like this game, regardless of what anybody thinks. You know, no one's gonna tell me not to play this game or make me not like this game, because it's like, sorry buddy, I like this game, you don't like it, tough shit. But yeah, I'm very vocal about my opinion. I can get into very heated discussions. I'm not gonna attack you and shit, but it's just one of those things that I will get passionate about defending what I like. But at the same time, I try to listen to other people's viewpoints. You can't just shut everybody out and say they're wrong. But I do know a lot of people that play video games. Like, I'll be honest, like, here, perfect example is my coworkers. They play video games, but they don't play video games. They just know the tip of the iceberg. So we talk about fighting games. I mean, what do you think they talk about? They talk about Smash Brothers. They talk about Street Fighter V. They talk about Marvel. They talk about Tekken to a degree. That's really all you hear. Oh, and Mortal Kombat. That's really all you hear from these people. And then you try to mention like something even, not even, I wouldn't say like super obscure, but just a little off tangent. Like, hey, do you guys know what King of Fighters is? Crickets. Like, seriously? You don't know what fucking King of Fighters is? Like, okay, I'm not going that hardcore, you know? I'm just trying to, like, break the mold a little bit. And it's like, holy crap, these guys don't know what King of Fighters is. I'm like, have you heard of Dead or Alive? You know, have you heard of, like, I'm trying not to be too obscure. I'm trying to be reasonable. And these guys don't get it. They're just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just like, oh my god. So you already know I don't even go into my territory because the minute I say that, they're gonna look at you like you're fucking crazy. Like, are you from Mars? Like, what game are you talking about? That game doesn't even exist to them. You know, but then there's one guy at my workplace, my boss. He shocked me. He actually knew what Grand Blue Fantasy was. I was like, no shit, you know what that is? I was like, I think we can be friends. Like, it was one of those things. And then he started, and he actually knew about Million Arthur Arcana Blood. I was like, dude, you actually know what this game is? Like, yeah, I've been reading up on it. It looks pretty cool. I was like, oh man, that's like, there's hope in this world. Like, one of the 50 people I've talked to knows this game. But it doesn't even have to be just fighting games. I'm talking about, like, even RPGs. No, that's cool. No worries. That's fine. Like, even RPGs, dude. Like, we talk about RPGs at work. What do you think they talk about? They talk about Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, maybe Elder Scrolls. I'm surprised they even know what that is. But it's mostly just Square games. All Square games. Oh, Secret of Mana. Oh, Chrono Trigger. You know, it's all Square games. I'm like, holy crap. Like, do you know any other RPGs? And you tell them, like, have you ever played, Secret of Evermore? Have you ever played Grandia? Lunar? Romance of the Three Kingdoms? You know, well, I don't know if that's a good example. Suikoden. You know, you try to, like, tell them other games, and they look at you like, what games? What the hell are those? Like, it's like, but that's the crowd you deal with. Like, what gets me though, it kind of peeves me off, is they say they're video gamers, and it's like, don't sound like you know too much about them. You just, it sounds like, you ever see those like webcam girls or those Twitch girls? Oh yeah, I love video games, and you try to like have an intellectual conversation with them about just the industry or just different titles, and like, what's that? Like, I remember this one guy, he said, oh man, you love video gaming. Are you going to E3 this year? What's an E3? Like, yeah, you really love video games. I can tell, because you don't even know what E3 is. Or it's like saying, oh man, have you ever played the, you know, the new console? Like, you'll say like a specific console that's kind of obscure, and they're like, what's that? Like, because all they know is Nintendo, or all they know is Sony. You know, it's like, oh god. Like, why do you work in the video game industry if you don't know shit about it? It's a. Oh, it does, but it seems like the mainstream stuff that people talk about is just they talk about specific titles and only specific titles. Like when you say RPG, I say Final Fantasy, and that's the extent of my knowledge. Like that's what it seems like. Like that's as far as people are willing to discuss, because that's all they know. And that's a majority. That's a lot of people. I mean, I've tested this multiple times with multiple groups, and it's usually a common pattern. Like people, I've taught people in the video game industry. I've worked in the video game industry for many years. Same thing with the anime industry. I will say the anime industry is a little bit more diverse. Like they seem to know a lot of shit. So it's like, okay, they've heard of a lot of crazy, obscure stuff. Even stuff I haven't heard of before, which is awesome. You know, I get to experience new things. You know, I'm always up for that. But when it comes to like video gamers, man, it's just like it's very small bubble. Very, 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 very small. I work for a video game company. I can't tell you where though, because of violation. I can't like disclose where I work because if I do, I'll get in trouble. But I work for a video game company. Can't tell you which one though, and I can't tell you what I do. I'm sorry to say. It's one of those things of you got to be careful because especially I stream. I have to be really careful what I say because if somebody reports me or if they come in and see me talking about it, they can get me fired. It's one of those things of you're supposed to keep your identity anonymous. And if I play any specific titles that involve the company, I definitely can't say anything. Like it's one of those things of, yeah, you bet if you play this game, yeah, you better fucking keep your mouth shut. Because if they find out info on you about it and they know you're associated with that company, you're gonna get in serious trouble. Because the thing is that they don't want to get harassment. They don't want to get, you know, because people are stupid. You know, people will come and harass you at your job because they know you work there. So they start getting calls and they're like, "Hey, who the fuck keeps calling, asking about so and so because he works for works for our company?" That's they don't want that. I do. I'm pretty knowledgeable. I've been working in the video game and anime industry since I was 17. So I've been going on 21 years. Computer. I work in the computer industry, anime and video game industry. I worked for Anime Expo for 8 years. I was on staff. I got out of it though now. It's too mainstream now. I can't stand the way it is now. Like I won't go to anime cons anymore. They're too big. They've gotten so fucking big that they're just too big for their own good. Like the last time I went to Anime Expo was back in 2013, I think. Is when Guilty Gear first premiered. Like they were having a demo of it, and I had to go play it. I was like, dude, this is my game. Like I've been, you know, clamoring for a sequel, you know, for so many years, and then when it finally came out, I was like, we gotta play this shit. Like me and two of my friends went down there because they were like, yeah, let's go play it. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll stand in line for that shit. It was free. I mean, that was a good thing. It was free to go play. You didn't need to pay for a ticket, so we just had to commute down there on train. So I went there for 3 days, just playing Guilty Gear. Played it for a good, 3 hours each day. Just getting my fill. Because I don't think it was a demo had no restrictions. You could play anybody. No, I don't. No. I'm a tech support. I'm a rep. I'm I like deal with computer, like anything tech support related, troubleshooting, stuff like that. No, I can't stand programming. I've tried programming. Hell no. That shit's like, ugh, I don't want to do this. I wish I was good at visual design. I'm not very good at this stuff. Like, I could Photoshop. That's all I can really, I'm good at Photoshopping. I don't really consider that like an amazing talent. That's, with all the technology and tools out there, it's pretty standard. But I do make a lot of wallpapers. Like, I'm always making wallpapers of games I like. Like, you can usually, if you look up my name online, you can find a lot of fighting game wallpapers and anime wallpapers. Like, if you look at, like, for a while, I was pretty, like, hot on Guilty Gear. Like, a lot of people would use my artwork, well, use my wallpapers for their fight sticks. Like, I've actually seen a couple people use my artwork on their fight sticks. And I'm just like, okay, that's pretty cool. You know, I don't care because it's free. I don't give a shit if you use it. It doesn't bother me. You know, to me, it's, you know, flattery because you're actually using it and publicly displaying it to people. So, what's up, Osaka? How you doing? Oh, nice. You want to go engineering degree? Computers? Yeah, believe it or not, I don't have a college degree. I'm just high school diploma. I am gonna go back to college eventually to get my general AA, just to have it, but not now. I mean, I need to work. I need to worry about getting my finances back in order because I wasn't working for like 8 months. I was on unemployment, and that kind of hurt my funds. So I was getting unemployment, but it's just one of those things of it was hurting my funds. So I'm trying to get built back up. But how you doing, Usaka? You doing all right? I swear there's nobody on right now. There's nobody on. You want to play my game? Because, you know, it's funny, even with Evo coming around, I don't see anybody playing this shit. Even with Evo. Nope. As usual, because my game is, I'm a lone wolf on this game. I mean, you see a couple people once in a while. But it's one of those things of just nobody plays this game. It's just one of those things of it's just the reality of the game. You have to learn to expect this with anime fighters. Non-mainstream ones just do not get any attention. You know, poor marketing. The obscurity, I think, really hurts it because it's one of those things of people. There's a lot of people that don't like these type of games. The majority don't. It's just not appealing to them. And I understand it's a visual art style that's not very attractive to a lot of people. Like, I mean, look at how many people play Street Fighter. I mean, they love the style because it's very serious. I think not only that, it's a household name. So everybody knows Street Fighter. Everybody likes the way it plays because they're familiar with it. And everybody likes the style because it looks mature. So then they look at this and they go, well, this looks kiddie. There's too many girls. You know, it plays weird. It doesn't play like Street Fighter, therefore it must be bad. You know, that's the way a lot of people think. So that's just reality. Yeah, but you gotta understand, it's serious though. I get a decent amount of views. It depends on I'm playing, you know. Like this game, people will come and watch me for this game. If If everybody was streaming this game, most people will come to my channel. Like, if I'm playing this game, like, if there's 20 other people, like, even when I had this game day one, and there was like 10 or 20 different people streaming it, I was the highest. I had like 20, 30 people watching me. And if I mean, you should see when I'm playing, God, when I was playing Guilty Gear, back in the day, oh man. I get minimum 20 people in here, up to like 40 people watching me. And then, Final Fantasy 11, oh god. Final Fantasy 11. Yeah, that game, just, the gates open and just, it just floods in here. Want to watch me play that game. That's probably my biggest game. I've had up to 70 people watch me play that. But since I jump around so much, that's probably why my views constantly are lower, because I'm not consistent with one game. I'm always playing something else. I'm always playing something different. I had a lot of loves, you know. It's not like I just have one game that I love. You know, I play more than just this. I play more than just Guilty Gear. I play more than just, you know, Final Fantasy 11. I play a lot of shit. Well, yeah. Also, I contribute to the community. That's why, because I used to post on the wiki, like for Final Fantasy 11 Blue Garter wiki. Like, I posted a lot of the new content. Like, for example, like when they introduced Dynamis Divergence, which was a new endgame content. I wrote like a good 60 to 70% of that article was written by me. I did all the information. I did the maps. I did like monster placement, drops. Like, for me to take that time to do all that, you know, to show like, hey, you know, this is what this instance includes. You know, I mean, I wasn't completely 100% correct. It was obviously, when new stuff comes out, people have to figure out the mechanics, because there's a lot that's unknown. So you have to. I'm just going off my personal experience, what I've seen and what I've done, to say, okay, X, Y, this is what happens, X, Y, and Z, from what I've observed. And then people like figure it out further, because they, you know, they do it more, and they're like, oh, we found this out. Okay, gotta modify this. Okay, this is correct. I'm burned out. Like, 11 hasn't been updated really. I mean, there's updates, but it's like one of those things of, I've gotten so far in that game. I'm pretty disgusting in terms of my gear, and I only need a few things. I mean, yeah, there's like 3 new enemies I have not yet to beat that they've introduced recently, but that's really it. Like, my options are so narrow as to what I can do, because I've done almost everything in the entire game. So I have, it's not like I have stuff to do, you know. I don't have stuff to do. That's the problem. I'm running out of things to do. So when you start grinding the same thing over and over and over and over, it gets boring. So you're just like, hey, I'm running down to 2 events. Like, literally, I'm down to 2 events. I'm down to Omen and Dynamis Divergence. That's it. I mean, I'm done with Ambuscade. I can't even do that shit, because I got everything. I've upgraded like all. I mean, I think I need like 1 small armor upgrade, like 1, and it's so insignificant. I could do it. I mean, it'll be fast, but it's like, okay, I'm done with that. Now what? I got 2 things. 2 things. You can imagine just doing 2 things all the time. How boring that's gonna get. How fast. See, you're the opposite end of the spectrum. You have lots to do, but you can't do it. Whereas me is, I don't have a lot to do. So my options are do this or you don't do it. So I'm like, don't want to do it. And then the amount of time and dedication I have to do, I'd have to join a group, join a guild. I don't want to join a guild, because then I have to commit to a schedule. Then I have to play on certain days at certain time frames. to fight, to get what I need, again, it becomes a job. And I'm just like, okay, forget this. I don't want to do this. I want to play when I want to play, when I feel like playing, not feel that I'm obligated to play because, again, it feels like a second job. I don't want that. It makes the game feel like a chore. There's a difference between playing a game and like living a game. Final Fantasy XI, you had to live it. Especially back in the day. You were forced to live Final Fantasy XI back in the day. You had no choice. It was, you want to get shit done in 11? You fucking commit. Like, it's hardcore. Like, the game would, kick you down so hard and then be like, hey, get up. Like, you want this? Get up, keep trying. Oh, you finally did it. Well, good luck getting the drop rate because it's like 2%. So keep doing it until you get it. I mean, items had meaning too. I mean, I did like the fact that when you got an item in FF11, it felt like an accomplishment. Because you realize how much work you had to put in to get it. But at the same time, I don't want to spend fucking 20 hours farming a mob to get one drop. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Nah, I'm fine. I love my thief, and thief's where my heart is. I've always been a career thief in Final Fantasy XI. I've stuck with thief through the darkest of times, because like I played thief when thief was the worst job in the game. Like in the beginning, thief was nothing more than a treasure hunter whore. Basically, because thief manipulates drop rate. So I would literally only use that job because it could make me money. And because people needed it just so they can increase the drop rate on something they wanted. That was the only reason you used Thief. Thief had no other utility other than that. There was no reason to use Thief. Like, it was DPS, total worthless. Couldn't do shit. Like, and then you had to use a specific sub-job because you die otherwise. It was one of those things of, my god, this job is really bad. Like, it's like playing Snow White in this game. Now, it's different now. Thief's actually one of the top DPSs in the game now. Thief, I think, is in a capped DPS system, I think Thief is number one. But that's a very specific instance. Like, you have to have all the best buffs, all the best setups. Then, yes, Thief can destroy. But Thief could never destroy back in the day. Like, Thief wish it could hurt something. Bless Online. I never played that game. I only played Final Fantasy 11, Final Fantasy 14. I played PSO, Phantasy Star Online. What's it called? Tree of Savior. That's about it. Just those four. Oh, and EverQuest. Yeah, like, I have, like, PSO, PSO and Final Fantasy 14, I had about 8 months of game time in. I got sick of both of them. They were the exact same reason. I got tired of the grind. Like, PSO, obviously, is your first experience. Playing with friends was cool, but after a point, you're just like, ugh, I'm tired of doing this. And then, Final Fantasy 14 was the same shit. I got to the end. I was super fucking strong. I had the best gear in the game. Like, literally, my gear was just... You look at my gear and go, God damn, this guy's got everything. I had my legendary all the way. I had, what was it, Guinir or whatever, the legendary polearm. My relic polearm. I had full relic set. This is back when 2.0 just came out. I had the absolute top gear. I was, like, disgusting. And... I was like, okay, what to do now? Okay, I guess I could grind this one thing a million times. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm done. I just walked away. I never came back. I destroyed the game. I beat... At the time, it was, if you guys are familiar with the instances, back in the day, Titan Extreme was the hardest fight in the game. Like, if you could beat Titan Extreme, like, you were considered a god. And I was a god. Took me a while to do it, but I did it. I was like, okay, I'm finally part of the top 5% in the game that can do this fight. I mean, it's easier now. It's not that hard. But, you know, back in the day when they just vanilla Titan was insane. But I did it. Actually, I think I did it without getting hit, too. I didn't get hit once. I dodged everything perfectly. That's hard to do. Like, literally not get hit by a single attack. It's pretty hard to do. Yeah, Sokka, do you wish? I wish Thief Arthur was more, you know, a little harder to use, and I'd be like, then I wouldn't. I mean, I like Thief Arthur, like I do like her. It's just I just don't like the potato-ness of her A. Her A is just super potato, and I'm just like, if we could just throw that potato away, just that one potato, and then it would be a pretty tasty meal. Let's just get rid of that potato move. She would be a lot harder to use. People would not be doing the shit that they do online. Just A, I'm gonna just A spam all fucking day because I'm so safe. Like, fuck that A shit. Like, oh my god, fuck that A crap. Like, her A is the worst in terms of annoyance. Like, god. Every character is A is okay except hers. He's got the most annoying A. Because it's just like, oh my god, it's just... He just keeps going and just keeps going and just keeps going. I'm like, oh my god. Stop this bitch. Like I said, at least other people's A, like Biz Cleveret's A is respectable. You know, Snow White's is respectable. Even Reeves is respectable. Like, everybody's A is pretty respectable. Like, I don't have a problem with anybody else's A. Like, EI's A is fine. Eternal Flames is fine. Nimue is fine. Zex is fine. Yeah, the only one that's bad is freaking, the only one that's bad is that one character. It's just Thief. That's the only one. He's the only one that I don't like in terms of the A's. I don't mind a quick jab like that. You know, you do 1-2, that's fine. But when it's just and it's like 30 hit combo from just A spam, I'm like, that's stupid. This is dumb. And then I'm gonna do an assist and then go right back into it again. I'm like, it's like, wow, it's like cross tag battle. Cross tag battle is the same shit. It's just like, oh man, I'm gonna do that A combo into that assist into that A combo. I'm like, ugh. This is like, it's, yeah, that's what I said. But they're also utility. You know, like I said, Biz Cleveret's has a lot of. Biz Cleveret probably has one of the highest utility. Just because she can jump cancel out of her A. She can jump cancel, she can overhead from it, she can fake, she can do her D from it, or if she wants to commit, she can do an assist combo with it, you know? She's got options from her A. Like, that's what makes it really good. Eve is just, I'm just gonna keep hitting buttons because I can. Yeah, she can jump cancel. This hit right here, you can jump cancel on hit. Any way you want. That makes her really scary because that makes like pressuring. And then she can also another thing that she can do is she can her standing B and her standing C, you can dash cancel either way. So like you do that, right? You don't have to commit to it. So if you wanna stop at the second or third hit, just cancel. So you can do 1, 2, 3, dash cancel. 1, 2, 3, back dash cancel. Back dash cancel. 4 dash cancel. Alright, man. Take care of the map. You have a good one, dude. Yeah, a lot of people, like, a lot of good physical threat players, like good ones, will do that. Another thing I do is I do the, like, if they're pressure stringing in the corner. See how you can create a lot of mix-up games? Because you're just like 1, 2, 3 dash cancel, 1, 2, 3 dash, or dash, jump cancel, dash, you know, like boom, 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 boom. It makes her scary because she's just getting in your face, and you're just like, okay, when do I hit her? You know, because she's not always open, you know. That's why you have all these different options. Or if she just wants to jump in, you know, she could just jump in and do nothing. She can also fake her D. You know her D, her jumping move? If you do it at the right frame, like, you'll hear her say, see, like, here's how she says it, but nothing comes out. So, excellent fake. Because people listen for visuals, for an audio cue that she's gonna hit you, so you freaking do it as late as possible and grab, because it doesn't come out. Like little things like that, you know, I learn with the characters, because it's like, oh yeah, she can do this, this, this. I mean, it's hard to do because the timing is really strict, but another thing I like doing with her is her pillar. Like, one thing I like doing is pillar combos. Pillar combos are kind of cool because you don't see anybody do pillar combos. Like, I like it when you can, if you can combo your pillar into a combo. That I think that's so cool looking, because it's like nobody does this into a combo because it's so slow. But if you can land it in a combo, it looks fucking sick. It works well with wind though, because wind will fire from wind will counter, which I think it makes it untechable. So if I'd want to do that, I'd want to like do an interesting combo. I would have to use specific assists. But with my setup, it doesn't work too much. You can do like the one I do though is I do this. When I saw that, I was like, okay, that's pretty freaking cool. And then you can air jump and then dash forward really quick, and you can keep hitting them. You gotta be fast though. Like, you gotta be. I think it's like 1 frame timing. And you have to dash cancel at the right moment. Well, you do know. You should use her pillar. Her pillar is really good because you can't hit her out of it. if she gets that pillar on the ground, if the minute that animation of that thing comes on the ground, you can hit her all you want. She will hit you back. So when people do that, they set it up early after they knock someone down. And then they can worry like, go ahead, challenge me. Like, because I know you're going to lose. Because if you try to hit me, it's going to hit you. And then I'm going to counter you, and then I'm going to do a combo. So people have to be very careful when hitting her when she does that move. Like, make sure you hit her that you kind of get out of the way so she you don't get hit by the explosion. Yeah, same thing. Like people, hell, there's some people that don't even know about her throw. That like you hit D and you can hold it. Depending on how long you hold it, it does more damage. And if you get the sweet spot, then she does like a critical, and they can't tech for like a long time. You'll see the damage multiplier change to like 5600 when you do it right. Yeah, that's critical. So she has 3 different levels of throw, like depending on how long you hold the button. And of course, you know about her super. This is dependent upon the striking area. Best way to do this is sweep. Perfect hit. Because if you hit it normally, if you just hit it normally, it doesn't hit the same. Like the hits just knocks them up. But if you do it with the sweep, changes the hit property and makes it a lot better. The fact that you can do 2 of them is pretty hilarious. You can actually do 2 of them if you're quick enough. Yeah, you have to. I think you got to do it like at a very specific distance. That's a cool combo. It's like bah, 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 bah. That is so fucking cool. Like bam! I just like seeing them bounce. That's so fucking funny. Yeah, like I said, you don't see people do the shit I do. Like, people don't try to explore, you know? They just do the one thing. And, like, even Bisclavret players, like I see Bisclavret players play, and they copy what this one European player, he's like the best European Bisclavret in the world. And they just copy him. They do the exact same combo setup, the exact same assist setup as him. They copy him to the T. And it's just like, really, guys? You just gonna copy that one guy? Really? Just because he is like, oh, like, there's so many different things you can do with the character, you know? There's so many cool things you can do, and it's like one of my friends told me that, he was watching me play, and he said, oh, you use the Scythe Assist. He says, yeah, one of the best Japanese Bisclavrets uses the Scythe Assist. He says, no American players use Scythe Assist, like, for her, because they use, what do they use? They use Beam, because Beam is better. I'm just like, Scythe is fucking cool, man. Scythe is fucking hilarious because of the shit you can do with it. No, but it's just one of those things that people want to do what's the most effective. Because they think in their mind is, oh, well, this is what wins. So your shit is like 2nd or 3rd rate, so it's not worth doing. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's cool when people like. I mean, what's the expression, like? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, because you know people start copying you. That means that you're a leader. So obviously, you know, I make my combo videos and I try to do stuff that nobody else does. You know, and I do figure out new stuff as I continue to play. You know, like when I make my combo videos, that's just my initial impression. So you can't really take what I do as final. It's just, this is what I figured out so far upon playing the game for a couple days. But now now I know the game so well. I know a lot more shit. Yeah, I do stick to my assist set that I have, you know, because I like Ice assist setups because they're funny. And they work really well with her because of her fire. But most people I always see they use one ice, one wind, and they use Chin Chin. It's always Chin Chin, ice, wind. Always and it's that hurricane one. The one, I think it's the second one, the one on the second player side, the wind girl. It does like a hurricane uppercut. Every Biz Clever uses that. Because, hey, I can jump D into it. I'm like, oh, God. It's like, you know, it's just one of those things I feel like, yeah, that's not the most effective way to do damage with her. But whatever, I mean, that's what people want to do. Because so-and-so does it. It's a little irritating. Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I mean, it's good to learn new things from other people because you might find something newer or find something more interesting by obviously examining other people's gimmicks and saying, oh, what if I combine this? What if I break this down and go, oh, what about this? You know, you find something new. I mean, this game, you can only do so much with every game, you know. You can't be completely crazy, you know. There's a limit because the system will not let you do it because, you know, the tech system is pretty strict. You know, once you get to too many hits, you just tech too fast. So there's a lot of stuff that you just can't do because the system won't allow you to do it. You know, I like the combos in this game. They're not too long. No, they're not like Marvel, which they're just too fucking long. And they're not like too short either. I think they're just the right length. They're good length in combos. And one thing I like about this game is I like the damage scaling. It's very low. So stuff doesn't mean, like, your life bar does not go down very fast in this game. It takes a lot to kill somebody. Like that's like super advanced combo right there. And it takes like what, 40%? Well, yeah, that's what I mean. In Marvel, it's just, you're not even fighting. You're just basically just going to the other guy, so you done yet? You done doing 100% combo? That's Marvel. I hate games like that, because it's like, well, then we're not really fighting. We're just watching you practice on a training dummy. That's why I think combo length, you know, there's a degree of length in combo where it's like, I think it's too much. And obviously there's one that's too little. Like Samurai Showdown is way too little. It's like you don't do shit. You don't do beans for combos in that game. That game has literally no combo paths because the game just doesn't let you combo. The extent of combos in that game is like standing slash into a repetitive move. Or jumping attack into standing slash into a repetitive move. That is your combo in those games. That is as far as it goes. It can't get any more Street Fighter 2 than that. And that to me is too limited. You're taking away all my options at that point. You're just not letting me do anything. Combos I think are important in a game. I know I've had this discussion before. Some people think combos take no skill. And I'm like, no, they do take skill. They do. They take skill if it's manual execution. Now, obviously, hitting A all day takes no skill. Anybody can potato. But actually learning, inputs. Let's see. Here. Like, you see, like, what I'm doing. I move my hands pretty fast, so I'm just like... I never really show this, but yeah, I'm moving my hands like all fucking crazy. I'm just like... Well, yeah, I know. It's just but I like games with combos. Like, I need my combos. Combos are part of creative expression. It's cool doing, like, you gotta understand, like, I view video gaming in a different light. See, a lot of people when they play fighting games, it's all about winning. It's all about doing what's effective. For me, it's not about winning. It's about how I win. It's about looking good doing it. Like, because I feel that I'm entertaining people, so I want people to be entertained when they watch me play. So when they see me play, they'll, like, it gives them like, oh shit, look at him do all this cool stuff. Like, he's doing stuff that, nobody else does because nobody wants to take risks. Because it's not efficient. And it's like, well, yeah, if you want to watch boring matches where just everybody's playing it safe and doing the same thing, sure. I guess you find that hype. I don't. I think that's boring. Nice when you see somebody who actually wants to learn the game and take it all in, rather than somebody that just wants to go, okay, just do X, Y, Z. That's all you do. Sorry to say, even people that play this game, a lot of people that play this game, they're all one-trick ponies. Like, the top players are one-trick ponies. They just sit back, wait for you to do something, and then they just do their one combo. That's all they do. Like, I watched a recent tournament where the top 4 was all EI players, and they all did the exact same combo, the exact same assist setup. It's just like, yeah, it must really, this is so much fun just watching everybody play the same. Because that's fucking hype. No, it's not. It's fucking boring. It's boring and uninteresting. It does. Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I've played in tournaments before, and I ain't gonna lie, I like it when people get excited when they watch me play, because I can get the crowd riled up. Because it's just like, because what I'm doing is a lot more interesting than other people are doing. So people watch you play, and then also, especially when you're the underdog, nobody knows who you are, and you're just doing shit that nobody else does. And so everybody's like, what the fuck? So people are more engaged in watching you play because they actually see you're trying different things. And then that creates more hype moments. You know, that's why, but I never got it when people just watch matches and they're just doing the same thing and they think this is so hype. It's like, dude, he's doing the same thing like everybody else does. Why are you guys getting all excited about it? It's nothing exciting. Like, the fact that other people can do exactly what the same guy is doing, just do it a little better, to me doesn't mean anything. When you get somebody that can do something that nobody else can do, that's more exciting because you know it takes a degree of skill where only a handful of people in the world are capable of doing it. You gotta understand, first and foremost, gaming is entertainment. So when I watch a tournament, it's no different than watching a basketball game, watching, you know, a football game, a sports, any sports type of game, or just even wrestling. What is the reason why you watch it? Because you want to be entertained. So I feel as a responsibility as a fighting game player, I want to entertain you, so I fucking do stuff that's beyond what's normal. Because anybody can see what everybody else does. Like, that takes no talent. But you do something that nobody else can do, or do something that very few people can do, that's more entertaining to watch. Because you're doing something that most people are not capable of doing. And obviously I have more respect for those individuals because, you know, at least they try. You know, they're trying to... I think they're also playing the game in a light where they respect the game. Like they have heart. It's kind of like watching a boxer, you know. You watch a good boxer that takes his punches and he gives it his all. He's trying his hardest, not giving up. You know, he's putting forth so much. You can really see the determination, the amount, and he's doing all these different things, and he's really, you know, making good calls, you know, but he's also taking his licks. And you know, to me, that's heart. That means you are the essence of the sport. You are what make the sport great. It's like you love the sport, and that's genuine. And that I respect. You don't necessarily have to win, but to me, it's like there's a difference between when you have heart. But people in the fighting game community don't think that way. They think about it in terms of, all right, who wins the most, what works, and you know, the meta. Meta is what works. You know, they get their dick hard all over the meta. It's like watching a perfect example, and I always give this comparison, a real life comparison to fighting games. Fighting game meta is the equivalent to watching Floyd Mayweather fight. Mayweather is the definition of meta. You want to watch the most boring boxer in the history of boxer, the most insulting man to the sport? Watch fucking Mayweather. Because he's the definition of meta. And he's fucking boring to watch. That guy has no heart. That guy to me, he's a coward. Because he always rigs his matches in his favor. He's a businessman. In terms of a businessman, he's smart. In terms of a boxer, he's terrible. He doesn't have the heart like other people do. That's why I never respect him. I can never respect Mayweather. Just because of how he treats the sport. To me, it's like, you don't care about it, you shit all over it, and then... You know, people, honestly, I think, pay to see him lose. They don't want to see him win. They want to see him lose. I want to see him lose. I want to see him get off his fucking high horse. I'm tired of him living on that goddamn horse. Acting like he can do no wrong. Like, dude, like, fuck this guy. Like, and this is why I don't watch boxing. He has given boxing a bad name. Yeah, but to me, heart's important. That's what makes good entertainment, is heart. Passion, dude. Passion is something, maybe, yes, like I said, that's the reason why he wins, because he has no heart. He doesn't let feelings get in the way of a business. Again, he's a businessman. Use your brain. It's when you think in terms of business, you got to use your brain, not your heart. But I think in the terms of entertainment and like being genuine, heart is important. It's no different than creators making good video games. People make good video games because they're passionate. not because they do it by the book. We can see where doing it by the book does nothing. Because look how many games are fucking terrible. Because they're, yeah, in terms of business, they're smart because do the minimal amount of effort, the cheapest way possible for the max amount of profit. In terms of business, it's smart as hell. In terms of what do you call it? What's that word? In terms of integrity, it's terrible. And there's a lot of games out there that get no credit, even though they're amazing games with a lot of heart. They get no credit. But, it's unfortunate. Again, that's obviously a personal opinion, because everybody's different. I just like passion. When I see passion, it's reflective. You can see, it's like little things like attention to details, or attention to, or just making creative routes with a character. There's a lot of factors that go into good music that just hits the right notes. It's really catchy. There's a lot of things and then the whole experience is amazing in every department. Where you could say, hey, love was put into this game. You can say, hey, this was made with quality. This was made with care. This was not made with money involved. This was not made with, oh, how can we turn the maximum amount of profit? No, it was about making a good product, making it as best as it can be in every way possible, and making something that's memorable. But there's a lot of companies that don't do that. I mean, look at the new Wolfenstein game. Look how fucking terrible it was. That game was not made with love. That game was made with cash money involved. That game was made with, okay, how can we make a quick buck and with doing the most minimal amount of work? And sure enough, they come up with, all right, Nazi Borderlands. That's what we need. Because microtransactions and grinding, because people hate grinding, so guess what? We're gonna make them spend fucking real money to get the shit they want in this game. I know. I'm just telling you how I feel. You can't mix passion and business. I mean, we know this. This is why indie developers, they worry more about integrity because they want their product to be long term. Whereas businesses care about the short term. They care about what makes money now, they get while the getting's good. This is why you have microtransactions. This is why they do the shit that they do, because they're worried about the now. So quality suffers.
I'm sure she put it through. Told me, she said, I'm going to all put it in right now. I promise I'll be in tomorrow. There's something else. I fired everybody, or I don't know. Oh, but if you got a problem, then what's his name? John? You can go with me if you want. No, I know you're politer than I am. Yes, he says they called just say we're gonna go and they were gonna. If not, then I suggest is. Did you find out if you have any particular game Xbox?
Final Fantasy.
Well, no, you said that isn't out yet. I was talking. Remember, I said, well, 10 and 10 too. You know, or what they have available. Oh my, well, you said they already have price.
Yeah, well, that's, normally the first copy, but I think that's the old release of that on it might be. I'll check that.
Brandon, wait this long to get your. I know, but you didn't wait this long.
It took after that. That was a little shorter.
So this is normal? They make it up?
No, they told them they have to investigate, so they didn't get that many.
Why that's the investigation?
No, after they phoned me the next day, or we have to wait another 10 days.
Oh, when he told me, I said, oh, I thought he already got it. Because he said a couple of, I got a.
But yeah, they had a phone interview and now they gotta wait another 10 days for them to process it. And they'll give them
Sorry about that. My dad was talking to me. Sorry about that, I'm back. I didn't mean to ignore you guys. My dad was asking me a bunch of questions. But yeah, you're right. Passion is not where the money follows. You're absolutely right. Passion suffers. You know, but see, if I made a fighting game, you know, and I've said this before on stream, if I had the talent to make a fighting game, like, you know, I had artistic design and, you know, I was good at making graphics and sprites and a good music composer. I mean, that's asking too much for one person to do. But anyway, you know, I would love to make my own anime fighter. You know, personally, I've always wanted to make a Toho fighting game, like a Toho fighting game in the light of Guilty Gear. Like, kind of like, I want Toho bullet hell fighting game mechanics, but with Guilty Gear as a base. I would absolutely adore to make that. I would be so passionate about it. Because, you know, I watch the anime, I follow the franchise, I know fighting games very well, you know, and I would like to make something next level where it's just people be like, God damn, this game is insane. But I'd want 2D sprites. I would use the same techniques that this company uses. These are actually 3D models. These aren't actually 2D sprites. What they do, and BlazBlue has been doing this since the beginning, is they draw the characters in 3D models, then they convert them to 2D sprites, and then they color them, edit them, you know, with whatever proprietary tool that they use, and they do it frame by frame. Man.
I got it.
You know what it was from?
Could be. No, I'm not that angry. It's just a project and training. Still got time. I'm just doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Some people turned it down, and I was like, well, I better take it. Like with the translation. No, it's just, but I'm thinking, if I turn it down, they might because they turned it down. I wanna use that as leverage against them.
I don't think they're
We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, there you go. Doing maybe we're getting the plan. It's almost 1,000 on that. And then it's like, wait, no, what they did actually say is like, you gotta understand the ins and outs of the game.
I was saying fun. Let me hear you about it. No, thank you. I didn't even this came in today. I was like, what?
I thought it was, yeah, I saw the check out.
Oh. Oh, you've been. So I guess for some reason, relax. Waiting is.
Yeah, yeah.
After February.
That'll be on the car. You just have to leave this car withdrawing the money.
Because that's the thing. If I wasn't eligible, it would make.
And you should be.
Yeah, she didn't talk to that. That's my job.
I think it's a policy. Why they? I'm hoping. Obviously, I did. Who gets to that point? I don't know exactly. We'll see what.
We'll see what's up. Make sure.
I mean, there's still no guarantee on the game. I'm just trying to do. Let them keep it in trouble. No, that's cool. Of course, I understand. Sorry about that. I was talking to my roommate about something about some tax return bullshit. Yeah. But as far as, like I said, if I could make a fighting game, yeah, I would love to make a Toho fighting game with bullet hell. Probably not same degree of bullet hell, but one of those things of I would like to make it crazy. Like I said, I want Guilty Gear crazy with a little bit of Toho. Like, I think that would be sick. And I'd love to have, like, you know, like same like cutscene supers and shit, and really awesome high level gameplay, lots of cool mechanics. You know, obviously, you know, there'd be the standards. You know, they have bursting, and you know, I put, you know, dashing, rolling, maybe even a sidestep, a burst, a cancel type move. You know, shit like that. Like, the game, I could definitely create something very, very deep. And obviously, if I was the one making it, it would play to my specifications. Like, it has to feel right. It would be more. Be more than Arcana Heart. It'd be way crazier. I don't like the homing mechanic. Like, I probably wouldn't put that in. I'd put maybe something more like I said. I would definitely, one thing I would do, instead of making everybody have like the same exact type of dash, I'd make different type of dashes. There'd be like obviously teleport dashes. There would be some characters can't dash. Some characters can I can make one kid like fast fall maybe as a feature for certain characters, where they could fall fast to the ground. I would make it where some people can double dash, some people can triple dash, some people have an ascending dash, some people have a downsending dash. You know, you would definitely have to mix it up a bit so every character feels different. Makes combo routes unique for each character. You know, make it where obviously different strings exist where you can actually, it doesn't always have to be A, B, C. You can do like A, B, B or B, A, you know, like you can kind of go out of turn with certain characters, just so you have to learn each character differently. Like, this is just a couple things on the surface what I would do. A very few amount of things. And again, I would have shield blocking. I would love to have a parry mechanic. Like, there would be a lot of shit in this game, like, if I made it. Like, it'd be nuts. But the only thing I would say if I made it, though, I can tell you one thing. Most people would be so intimidated with it. Because they'd be like, okay, this is too fucking much. Like, but then the people that do like deep fighting games, I can picture them like, oh my god, this is just a wet dream come true. Yeah, I'd probably be targeting the minority. I'd be targeting very specific people. And obviously in terms of success, it won't do well. Because only the few would play it. Because everybody else would be too intimidated to try it. Like I said, this is just coming from my mind. Doesn't mean. I mean, if I could do it though, that's what my vision fighting game would be for Toho. Like I said, and I would make the graphics look similar to this, or even Guilty Gear Xrd graphics engine. You know, I'd look either one. Either one would be good. Zerd would probably be easier to do because it's 3D models completely. But I do like sprite work, so I prefer high-res 1080p sprites like this game does. Because this game has ridiculously large sprites. And they're really, really colorful. Lots of detail. I mean, these graphics look way better than Blaze Blue. I think the graphics quality in this is a major step up from Blaze Blue. Also, Blaze Blue I think is only 720p. It's aging. You can see the sprites don't look as good as they used to. This looks like super clean. I mean, Melty Blood sprites are nice, but they're too small though. I'd want Melty Blood like with this clean of sprites, but smoother. You know, obviously Melty Bloods has more frames of animation and be more difficult to do, but I would want them in this high res. But I know that's asking a lot. I know a lot of people don't like they see. I think the one thing like why you think this game looks janky is because the sprites aren't like super fucking like Third Strike quality like, animation, where there's like 30 frames for a kick, whereas like this game has like maybe like 4 in betweens as opposed to like 30. You know, but the problem is I think when you make it too fluid, it causes the timing of things to change drastically, and then sometimes the flow I think doesn't work well. That's why I like when you play like Third Strike as opposed to like Street Fighter 4, which everything's at 60 frames smooth. It doesn't feel the same. The way things connect don't feel the same. The way things interact don't feel the same. Having it, I think, overly smooth. Here's a perfect example. I don't know if you ever watched the Guilty Gear documentary, where they talk about how the making of Guilty Gear Xrd, and they showed like post-production and they basically showed what they did before, like how they started the models, and they said, okay, well, to preserve the 2D effect, they made the sprites, the models have like jagginess, so it looks more like traditional animation. So it's like there's frames, not where it's just ultra smooth. And because it looked funny, it looked weird. I was like, that doesn't look right. It looks good, but it didn't look right for a 2D fighting game. Something got lost. So I don't think overly smooth is also good either. You kind of want a little bit of the jaggies. No. Please, I said that's not even a real game. Just kidding. No, 14. I hate the way that game looks. I'm trying to think of a good comparison, like of what looks overly too much and then what looks, just right. And there's obviously some games where it's too little. A perfect example of too little is Hokuto no Ken. The Hokuto no Ken fighting game looks amazing when it's still. When it moves, it looks like shit. It looks fucking terrible. It's like you see like 2 frames in between moves. Like you see walking, it'll be like literally it's got 2 frames when the character walks. This one it's like what, like 5, 6? It looks disgusting, like on Hokuto no Ken. It makes the game look like shit. Like at the time it was okay, but you do that now? Oh man. I'm done. Like, that looks awful. Well, yeah, King of Fighters looks terrible because of the 3D. It looks awful. Samurai Showdown, even too, doesn't look that good. Some of the sprite and some of the models look weird. Like for example, Charlotte. I saw Charlotte and I was like, that does not look like fucking Charlotte. She looks too dolled up to me. You want to know a game that has awful 3D models, in my opinion? Certain characters just look scary. Is Fighting Layer EX. Fighting EX Layer. You look at like Pullum, man. Pullum creeps me out. I look at Pullum, I'm like, holy fuck, what is up with this Barbie doll look? I was like, that's not what Persian girls look like. Like, oh, it looks so, like, ugh. I can't look at her because she's just overly dolled up. It looks so it looks fake. It's like, it's not even trying, you know? Here's my friend, he's gonna play me, my roommate. We're gonna play.
This is the Kingdom's Junction. Please tell me your select. First battle, judge.
「
の歌もっと聞きたい？
Morbid. Yeah, I try to be entertaining to watch when I play. Gotta get that cooch in the face, dude.
This is the Kingdom's Junction. Please tell me your select. First battle, judge. 限りますね。
About 30 minutes left. Letting you guys know.
Yeah, this is
Gotta
the
get ready for
Kingdom
work soon.
Champion. Please tell me your select. First battle, judge.どうだ。切り刻め。ビビったか。やってみな。カブトール。動くなよ。面白い。どうだ。なめんな。行くぞ。どうだ。 This is the Kingdom's Junction. Please tell me your select. First battle, judge. 応酬者だ。なめんなよ。ほらよ、どうだ。これ誰なんだよ。まだまだ。ほらよ。そこだ。キリキパンで。谷が。キャラセルを見てつけだ。まだまだ。キャラセルを見てつけだ。 は見てやるってんだ。喜ぶ。
I'm gonna wait for a bit. That's good matches. 320 right now. Search her rank for a little bit. I'm gonna leave. I'm getting hungry. think anybody's gonna join right now. Oh well. That's enough for today. Mostly just waiting, unfortunately. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's time to get ready for work, so it's that time again. Hey, what's up, Vasaka? Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry. I gotta go get some food and then I gotta get ready for work, so. My Thursday today, so hopefully tomorrow will be my Friday, and then probably gonna be chilling home this weekend. Just gonna stay home and figure out something. And then next weekend I'm gonna be hanging out with my friends. Yeah, there's nothing right now, dude. There is jack shit. In terms of, like, stuff to do. Games, you know. I'm enjoying this game. It's just, you know, I'd like to have something else new. But, you know, well, at least Evo, hopefully we'll get some announcements. I'm hoping we get some good, juicy shit. So we'll see what's up, I guess. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go ahead and host Kingston. He's playing Fairy Fencer. So you guys can grace his presence. So, see you guys later. Peace out.